couple of minutes before I jump onto a private coaching call with one of my clients and wanted to break down a bit of some of the conversations that I get in my DMs quite often, which is really what it sums up to be is not just like, how do I make more money, right? So a lot of the times I talk about sales, I talk about social media content, business model, building out your services. But one thing that I asked when I was building my business that I actually don't really see a lot is I wanted to know how quickly I could go from one income to the next. And I've started to see it kind of trickle into my DMs here and there, but I feel like you need to be asking this question more because it's not just, yes, you want consistency in your income. You want to have consistent monthly revenue. You want to be making consistent sales. So first, before you ask how to go from 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, you have to first say, how can I make more consistent income of the same income? Because if you're not making $5,000 a month consistently, you just can't go to 10 consistently. So I first want to just say that as like a disclaimer. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to put my mascara on today. But when I was just starting out, I found after a couple of months of having consistent monthly income, I hit a plateau and I wanted someone to give me the plan. Like, what is the plan to go from 10,000 to 20,000, 20,000 to 40,000, 40,000 to 60,000? And nobody could tell me what to do and how to move through those income jumps. And yes, while it does come down to three things, I'm going to tell you what those three things are, but you still need to have certain strategies in place. And so when I look back on my income jumps and when it grew, when I actually had growth, there was a time it was frustrating. So before the growth happens, you're usually hitting a wall and you reach this point and it's called a tipping point. So you can either go back down or you can keep going up. And I always felt a tipping point, at least that's what I called it, when I was ready to grow more. So there are things you will experience in the chase for more or growth that will be points of friction, frustration. You will feel annoyed that you don't know why you aren't growing. And it's one, because you've never done it before. So there's fear, uncertainty, doubt in there. And then two, you have to be willing to change to make that income growth come. You cannot do the same things and get better or different results. That is just not going to happen. If you lifted 5-pound weights forever, your muscles eventually would stop changing. You would be able to adapt. It wouldn't feel heavy anymore and you would not change. So in order to grow your revenue, you have to, one, recognize those tipping points. The point where you say, I've done this consistently enough. I've seen all that I can see. I've done all that I can do. What else is there that I am not doing? And so you look for gaps. The second thing is that you have to be willing to do things differently. I cannot tell you how many women I have worked with who are making anywhere from $20,000 a month to $250,000 per month, and they are not willing to change what they're doing. And the sad thing is they are slowly in a decline because they're using old strategies. And the minute you say one new thing, yes, they're fearful because that's a lot at stake to risk, but they had to do new things to get to where they're at right now. It's just the stakes are higher. So it feels more pressure. And so one of the things when I was looking back at what my business growth looked like, it really came down to a couple things. So the first $10,000 to $20,000, I had a membership and I basically was just posting about it on social media. Okay, so that was pretty much it. I didn't have leads. I just started. I had a bunch of clients just from getting the word out there, doing mouth, speaking from my mouth, saying, listen, I'm doing this. Do you want to work with me? Social media was pretty much it. But then I realized, like, through that point, looking back on it, I was making offers and I wasn't overthinking. I was just like doing the thing to get to the next goal. I was selling every day, talking about what I was doing. And ultimately, I stayed really close to the people I was talking to. So like the gap between me and my leads was like very short. Going from 20 to 40, I had to jump into more structure. So I needed to create a repeatable sales plan. I needed to create better lead tracking and follow-up because more of them existed. And I had to have a sales flow that was built off of a strategy. Content planning is not marketing planning. Content plan is not marketing strategy. You need to add on new skills and better systems in your business if you want to go from that like early 10, 15K months into jumping into that higher range. So the goal, and I love that read to rewire, the amount of leads, like there, you need to have an entire structure in place for your lead follow-up. Like the way my marketing strategy works, it's story, offer, invite, follow-up. Like that is my entire strategy. There you go. You've had it for free. Story, offer, invite, follow-up. Like everything I do is within those 4 areas. And I knew I had to do things differently. I had to have structure. I had to be more clear. I needed a team. I needed like 1 or 2 people to help support the growth. And then from 20 to 40 to 60, ultimately, this came from the leadership. This came from simplifying. This came from looking deeper into what I needed to fulfill for my clients. And so if you're struggling right now, one of 3 things needs to happen. Your content strategy needs to stop just being posting whatever you feel you need to post. And then I want you to focus on becoming a thought leader in your space. How can you transition to becoming a thought leader versus a content creator? Second, is your business model set up for growth and depth? Is there depth to your business model so that people can grow through your programs and offers? And then finally, do you have a repeatable sales plan that isn't just you posting for sales? It's an actual strategy that pairs with your marketing goals. Those are the 3 things you have to have in your business if you want to post less and make more, spend more time with your family and not behind your computer, and ultimately create longevity in your business for it to exist 10, 20 years from now. That's what I'm working for. I'm not working for today's dollar. I work for the next 20 years, the next 200 years. That long-term vision is built off of what I do between those income jumps, knowing when to take them, knowing when to invest to get help, and then moving your business further step by step. It's not going to happen overnight. So hope that was helpful.